I was cleaning the front room yesterday, and I saw one of those plastic plaster buckets. You know what I'm talking about, Sophia? The
No.
plaster bucket. Okay.
No.
Well, when I tell this, you'll remember. So it gave me a flashback to when we used to watch TV sitting on buckets of beans
long time
of
ago.
pasta. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Beans with pot.
Those buckets, yeah, remember those?
The ones we would sit on when we kicked
Yeah.
the TV.
Remember how one of us used to have all the antenna and they would jump around to make the TV work?
Yes, I remember those.
It's like, well, I want to listen to the show. Okay, fine. Now you jump around and you hit the TV with the pole.
Yeah,
Well, I get to sit on the bucket.
Yeah, that was great. Great times.
Welcome to Rocket to Anywhere, the show whose hosts call King's Hawaiian's rolls Hawaiian King rolls because it makes more sense in my opinion, or
But
our
you're
opinion.
not saying it right.
It's Hawaiian King rolls. That's what's right.
No. Okay, never mind.
I'm Corban.
I'm Sofia.
And I'm Karma.
That's right, Chips. This week on the show, we have another special guest, just like last week with our cousin Ethan. This week we have another special guest, and that is Karma, a friend of ours who is joining us today. So we're going to be doing something a bit different today. We'll be introducing a new segment, bringing up some interesting thoughts, and recounting our favorite early 2000s television programming. But first, before follow-up, let's do something new, a guest introduction. So let's going to ask you some 3 questions about who you are, what do you do, and what's your third favorite book or movie. So first, who are you?
I'm Karma, as I introduced myself earlier.
Yes. 3 times you say it, then people finally remember. Okay, what do you do? What's like a hobby you have or job you do or something?
I don't know. I'm pretty boring, but I do a lot of calligraphy, which is like fancy lettering.
Ooh, that's good because you'll be interested in this week's Word of the Week then. And finally, what is your third favorite book or movie? Because usually people are like, I don't know what my favorite one is, but I like this one on the side that's okay, but it's not my favorite one. So what's your third favorite?
Okay, well, I recently actually read a book that I like a lot more than a lot of other books, which was The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Okay, never heard of it before. I'll put it in the show notes for people to check out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to follow-up. We have 2 pieces. One piece from last week, episode 54, I believe. So we talked about the movie Little Secrets, and I realized that it actually came out in theaters on my birthday, like exact birth date. So that points out how old that movie is. I can't believe it. Second piece of follow-up is from like 5 episodes ago, where we announced the new Clifford reboot, and I forgot to say that it is in conjunction with Amazon and PBS. So congratulations to the people over at Amazon Studios for getting that down, but they're not actually the ones who are animating it. It's going to be a partnership between Scholastic, Brown Bag Films, and 100 Chickens. So they're there. Also, fun fact about Clifford I learned the other day, the original like 5 episodes that were direct to video were animated in the same style as Charlie Brown and the Peanuts movies. So thought that was interesting. So let's get started with Thought of the Week. Sophia, why don't you get started?
It's crazy how we can transmit data from Mars, but Wi-Fi still can't reach people's bedrooms.
That's exactly what you're experiencing right now.
That's so funny, Sophia.
It was
so
not
funny.
a joke. It's
Well,
Thinky-Thinky.
it sounded
thing.
like a joke. Okay, well, yesterday I actually thought of this at like 3 a.m. And I thought about how there's always ads for ad blockers. But if they're advertising to get all ads away, wouldn't they just be taking away their own advertisements?
Yep. Okay, here's my thought of the week. I was thinking about what are some things that we buy just to throw away? Like we buy it and we throw it away. And I realized we just buy trash bags and then we throw it away. It's like they have a use, but we just buy it to throw it away.
I mean, eating food is basically just throwing stuff away.
In the long term.
Yes, exactly.
Some of it sticks around.
So true, Corbad.
Okay, learn a word. This week's word is majuscule. Majuscule. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Majuscule. And that is a large letter, either capital or unisol, which means, I guess, the same size, used in writing and printing. So it comes from the Latin word majuscula, meaning a somewhat greater letter. So it's like when you're reading a book and the first letter of the first sentence of the first word of the first chapter is like really big, that's a majuscule.
That's every book for me.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, what are we reading? Like old classics here or something?
No, Paddington.
It's just the first letter of the word
Yeah.
B.
I was reading a flyer like that, and the first word was iPhone, and So it looked weird to have the first letter be really big, but it was a lowercase I.
I hate that.
Oh, I don't like that.
Okay, so here's a new related segment to Word of the Week that I'm going to try to catch on, something I've been thinking about since like episode 12 or so, when we did that episode about don't get on the bandwagon. So I was thinking, what are some sayings that we have, some phrases we have, or phrases we like to say that we wish would catch on with other people, or other people would like saying these phrases a lot more. We wish they would basically become popular. So, does anyone have any of these?
I don't.
I have no clue.
Okay.
Boom, there we go. I have no clue. Cool.
Wow, that's
Yo,
so
that's
cool.
a good one.
Okay, here's something I accidentally said a while back and then realized, it's kind of cool. So it's
Accidentally.
of course. Of course. So someone asked, like Sophia asked me something.
Are you hungry?
Of course. Meaning, basically a chorus of people would come to back me up and say, of course. I don't know.
What?
That doesn't make sense, Corban.
Of course. I don't know. I
It makes
just,
sense to people with his intellect.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
so not
think
me.
No, I don't know. Okay. Well, speaking of, let's move on to something that everyone will get, and that is joke time. Or some people hate it according to our analytics. You guys start skipping right here. But basically, we got some jokes. 2 each. Total of 6. Karma, why don't you start?
Okay, I got some good jokes, guys. So when I was in 3rd grade, I made this joke. Why was the spaghetti embarrassed? Because it was a noodle.
Oh. This will be on the front page of Reddit by the end of the week or
I
something.
know.
Sophia?
Okay, so Mr. and Miss Brown had 2 sons. One was named Mind Your Own Business, and the other was named Trouble. One day, the 2 boys decided to go play hide and seek. Trouble hid, while Mind Your Own Business counted to 100. Mind Your Own Business began looking for his brother in garbage cans and bushes. He started looking under cars, and a policeman approached him and asked, "What are you doing?" And the boy said, "Playing a game." And he said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Mind your own business." Furious, the policeman inquired, "Are you looking for trouble?" And the boy replied, "Why, yes."
Cool story, bro.
So funny.
I feel like that's something that would be on Tumblr. Here's my joke. This is one to help you with your brain to get started up for school. So, a farmer in the field with his cows, he counted 196 of them. But then when he rounded them up, he had 200.
Wow, that's so funny.
I know.
It's a good math joke.
Quick maths.
Okay, this is by far my favorite dad joke. What is brown and sticky? A stick.
That is a classic joke. That is like, I don't know. We used to have this joke book called, what was it called, Sophia?
Wacky, clean, funny jokes.
That sounds great.
It was written by some guy named Bob. And like literally his first name was the only name on the book. It's like written by Bob.
The guy who invented eye drops had his funeral today. There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
I can't, Sophia.
It's okay.
A bookshelf just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame.
And yourself.
Sophia.
I'm not a good craftsman.
Craft food?
No, craftsman.
Yes, the macaroni and cheese.
Yes, I work for Kraft, and I'm a craft man.
Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay, let's move on to our topic time. This week's topic is, what are our favorite early 2000s television shows? So, recently, I've been seeing a lot of these Instagram accounts that are no longer doing early 90s kids stuff. Like, it used to be a big deal, but now it's being the big deal of what I've seen, at least, is people posting screenshots from early 2000s kid shows. So I thought, why don't we fall on the bandwagon? Or like we say, the race car. Why don't we fall in the race car much faster? And let's talk about that. So, today we're going to be talking about what our favorite top 3 early 2000 television shows are, and then a side topic on what our favorite PBS kids shows were, and then maybe some obscure kids shows that we used to watch when we were younger. So, who wants to get started? I think we should all go in a circle over counting down. So, our number 3, number 2, number 1. So, Karma, get us started with your number 3 favorite kids show.
All right, well, my number 3 favorite kids show is probably Hannah Montana.
Boo.
Not sure why.
We've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So in our house, the only kids channel we watched was PBS. And
I slept through half of it.
and Smile of a Child. And then later on we had Cubo.
Oh, yes.
But we were only allowed to watch 3 shows on Cubo.
Oh, that's so sad.
Which were what
It
shows?
was Marvin the Tap Dancing Horse, and
Later on, Zula Patrol.
What was the show on Cubo about, like, that girl and the dragon?
Oh, that was Jane and the Dragon.
Okay.
I never watched that.
We never watched that. What was your number 3, Sophia?
Okay, so you sent me the list, and I can't find a single show that I know on this list. Oh, look, Angelina Ballerina.
That's how we all learned ballet.
I still don't know ballet.
I'll do Caillou. There we go.
Okay.
Boo.
No, never mind. Slapper Chase. There
Well,
we go.
okay, we were the only kids we know who were allowed to watch Caillou growing up.
I was
Everyone
allowed
around
to
us.
watch it.
I don't know why. Why does everybody's
Okay.
parents are like, oh, he's annoying?
Our aunt said, oh yeah, we don't let our kids watch Caillou because he whines too much. My number 3 show was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Wait, I forgot about
I forgot Clifford was a show. I used to read Clifford's Manor books.
All the Clifford books we had were in Spanish because our mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
A bilingual teacher. So she would bring home all the Spanish versions of the books because the kids
And
didn't
I'd
like
have to
reading
read it to
Spanish books.
Corban.
No, I translated it.
Oh,
No,
I used to translate Spanish books
You
for
would
you.
translate the pictures, and I would translate the words.
How do you translate a picture?
You just think about what it looks like.
Okay. I like Clifford because of the sound design. Like the sound of when the dogs bite on things. Hold on, I'll insert a sound effect here.
Very cool.
So that's how it sounds when a dog in Clifford bites on a bone or something. Anyway, I forgot to tell you guys, but if you want, you can chime in with your favorite episodes from the show. So my favorite episodes were the one where they made that perfume and they used maple syrup. The one where there's a blackout because of the heat wave. And then the one where my favorite one is the one where they made up the story about Mac being an org in the tower.
Mac? Oh,
Mac, yeah.
yeah.
The one where they were in the convertible in the
Oh,
back seat.
I remember that.
Okay, number 2.
Okay. My second favorite show was probably The Magic School Bus.
Yes.
It's just, Miss Frizz was amazing.
Frizzle.
Okay, I'm sorry. Miss
With the
Frizzle.
frizz. Hey, they say frizz.
Yeah, that's what I called her.
Okay.
Called
What do
her
you think of the new
Frizz.
one?
It's not the
I
same.
haven't watched it.
I only watched it because Lin-Manuel Miranda did the theme song.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Don't bring that up again. What were your favorite episodes of The Magic School Bus?
The one where they have to go into Ralphie's body when he's sick so they can figure out why he's not.
Oh, the red
why he's
blood
sick in that
cells.
one. Yeah, that one was really good.
Sophia, do you have a favorite episode of The Magic School Bus?
The only one I can remember is the one that we kept watching over and over and over again. It was the one where they went into Arnold's mouth, through his mouth because he was eating Cheetos.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, was that the Seaweedies one?
Yes, that was the Seaweedies one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I always thought that one was weird.
What? Oh.
Yeah, he turned orange because he ate too many seaweed-wrapped carrots. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Magic School is stretching things all the time. Okay, what's your number 2, Sophia?
Clifford's Puppy Days.
It was okay.
Oh, so you're going to judge mine, but you're not going to judge old Clifford like him.
Old Clifford was good.
Yeah, so was young Clifford.
Clifford was just amazing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't have any comments on Clifford's Puppy Days. It's just
You never really took the time to watch it.
I don't know. I didn't like the characters. The kid with the skateboard was weird. Okay, moving on. My number 2 is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I love Mr. Rogers.
It's my favorite. I would put it as my favorite, but I have another one there. So there's so much like on the show, from puppetry to dealing with emotions to learning how stuff gets made with Mr. McFeely. You got singing. I loved all the episodes. It's so hard to pick, but my most memorable ones were the one with Yo-Yo Ma, and then the one with the dominoes, where they set up all the dominoes in a really big pattern on the floor, and then they knocked them over. Anyway, I thought that one was cool.
I never liked Mr. Rogers that much.
Mr. Rogers is the sweetest person ever, though.
I mean, it was nice, but it was just not entertaining.
I'm sorry, all the people are going to come after you because of that.
I'm sorry. I only
Yeah,
watched
Sophia,
things to
that's
be
sad.
entertained, and that was not entertaining.
It's not about
It
entertainment,
was
though.
like school.
No.
No, it wasn't.
What's your number 1?
Okay. Don't judge. My all-time favorite show was Kim Possible. I just thought she was the coolest person when I
Aren't
was
they
younger.
remaking that?
Yes, and I don't support that at all.
Okay. We don't know
Wait,
anything
I
about
don't
that.
I don't know what?
Explain the show for Sophia.
Kim Possible is just I don't remember it too well because it's been 8 years, but she's a girl that's teenager who just goes out and fights crime. and she's really cool.
So, word girl, but without learning spelling.
Basically
like
every
Word Girl.
other TV show.
Yeah. Okay. What's your number one, Sophia?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Okay. I don't think that can count for you because you didn't watch that until you were older. It's a cool show.
Older was like
okay, I guess
7.
Okay, yeah, I guess you can do it because it's overall favorite ones.
Yeah.
What was your favorite episode from that?
I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, because they all mesh together.
Me too.
I remember the game though. You could never win, and I always won.
Yes, we had the game. The trick was to go to the sumo wrestling shop in like Kenya, and then you go into the window, and there's like this little bag there, and you look in the bag, and then there's a plane ticket or something. But like that's where the game would end because we only had the demo version. So it's like to get past this point, you need to purchase the full version. We should do an episode about computer games that we used to play. Reader Rabbit.
Oh, my favorite was the grammar one.
Wait, what was that?
Remember the one that he got us, and it was like animated, and it was like animated like sports and baseball and stuff. And I would always hit a home run.
It was all, were they all with Leapfrog or who? Who were they
It
with?
was with somebody else.
Okay, did y'all ever go onto the website Starfall?
Yes.
That
Yes,
was
I
like
hated
my
it.
favorite website
That was
ever.
our home.
That was yours.
On the
This is
Eureka
yours.
now.
That
We
was
all sing the
so
songs.
annoying.
Hold on. What was the song? Today is Monday.
Oh yeah. Today is Monday.
We still sing that one all the
Today is
time.
Monday. Monday, string beans, all you hungry children.
Coming it up. They had all these
Sophia.
songs. Yeah, it's all stuck in our head. Okay, there's this one where they're like, "Hello, Alphaville, tell me something." I still don't remember where that was on the website. I have to find it. But now they charge for Starfall now.
They actually?
Yeah,
That's
you can't.
so sad.
You can't do everything now.
You gotta pay for smartness now.
My number one show, surprisingly, people may think I would have said Arthur, but no. I have to say Thomas and Friends. Because
That was so anticlimactic.
if you
I
go
know.
back and you listen and you watch the show, it is actually still very funny to this day.
That is true.
Literally, no matter what age you are. There's a joke for everyone. Like, you got the simple puns for the young kids. You got the kind of complex jokes for the older kids. And then for the adults, you have the even, like, hilarious jokes. Anyway, you have to go back and watch some of them. So, do any of you have your favorite episodes from the show? Do you even care?
I don't remember anything that I watched.
Yeah, I
just
barely remember the
title.
episodes. I just remember the titles also.
Mm-hmm. Which version of the theme song did you like, Sophia?
The like original one that I
Okay.
always skipped.
Why do you skip intros?
Because
That's
it's
so sad. Like the
pointless.
intros are part of the show.
I know.
pointless.
She watches my favorite show and she just skips the intro. She's been watching Frasier. She's starting with it and she just skips the entire jazz
because
intro every
it's
time.
pointless.
You get to see the Seattle skyline. It's cool.
I can Google
And
it.
then you skip the credits. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
If you walk out on credits in a movie, shame on you.
Yeah, my parents do that.
I'm like, you got to look and pay attention and just like thank the people who made this movie. So my favorite episodes of Thomas were the one where Henry is in the tunnel and they have to build the thing in front of him until he...
Okay, that was never made an episode.
What do you mean?
That wasn't made an episode until the new Thomas.
No, it was in the originals. It was like
No, it was only in the
2005.
books.
No. Okay. Yeah, there were the books. We had this... Whatever happened to that book? We had a big book of Thomas stories.
Well, half the pages got ripped out.
The one we always have like on repeat all the time because of our siblings is the one with Rocky and the Crane. And then Rocky the Crane, remember that? Rocky the Red Crane. That Edward's like newfangled nonsense.
Oh, yes.
And then the one about the carnival.
Yes.
Okay, who was your favorite narrator? I know I'm spending too much time on this subject, but I just want to know. I like Thomas. Did you like Alec Baldwin or Ringo Starr as the host?
Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
The other guy's just like faking it all the way. He's like Daphne.
I like Ringo. Ringo's cool. Now let's move on to the subject of PBS. What were your favorite PBS shows?
Wait, I thought that was what this
I know, because a lot of us... Okay, but
Okay,
like
now
we don't
choose
need to
it.
spend forever on this.
Okay,
Just like quick namings.
Okay, my all-time favorite PBS show was Cyber Chase. By far,
Yeah,
it was the best.
because they had a really high cast of like
Yes, they were
good
great.
people on the show.
And Hacker was a great villain, no matter
Mm-hmm.
how dumb he might be. He's a great villain.
What were your favorite PBS shows, Sophia?
Top favorite was, well, as of now, Word Girl.
Okay.
Yes.
There were some really good jokes in that show. Okay, my favorite PBS show is Arthur. Has to be
That's
Arthur.
so surprising.
I know.
Whoa,
Wow.
never knew.
Shameless
Whoa.
plug.
Never knew.
Shameless
Okay,
plug
I love
for
Arthur too.
Elwood City Limits.
okay.
That guest episode of Arthur I hosted. If you want to go listen to that, it'll be in the show notes. rta.space/55. Also, Caillou. I liked Caillou.
I like Caillou too. But
It's cool.
Caillou wasn't my favorite. But
Yeah, no.
that's okay.
I don't like it. The episodes where he wore the white shirt.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
how.
hate those.
That's how
Those were
we
just,
would
like,
tell the
weird.
difference. Yeah. If Caillou wore a white shirt, we knew it wasn't going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
Here's a list of honorable mentions. Feel free to say what you will about them. JJ the Jet Plane, Reading Rainbow, Theodore Tugboat, Elliot Moose,
Yes.
Dooley and Pals.
Yes.
He made a friend out of you and me, Dooley and Pals. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum-bum. Marvin the Tap Dancing Horse,
Yeah.
Yes.
and Super
I
Y.
loved. Okay.
I
pause.
loved Super Y.
Super Y is great.
The
I don't like.
Marvin one. Okay, so you remember the little pig? The pink little pig is like overly dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that was hilarious.
Okay. I know we're going long here. So here's just some obscure shows for those who are like, wait, but I liked this show and you didn't even talk about it. So here's some obscure shows we used to watch. Rescue Heroes. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that one. Davy and Goliath. Not so obscure.
It's not that great.
I thought it was scary. Now, here's a really obscure one. Dr. Wonder's Workshop. There was no sound in
I
the
think
show.
I've seen that.
There's no sound whatsoever. It's all in sign language. And we used to watch the show.
Yeah,
and this is
back
how we
when
learned.
knew somewhat fluently sign language.
Yeah. We've fallen out of it.
Yeah.
And speaking of that signing time, used to watch that all the time.
Yes.
And then the first sitcom we ever watched, Faithville.
That was a sitcom.
Never seen that.
It was a sitcom, yes.
Wow.
It was about this Canadian town
That was a great
where
show. honestly.
everyone was like a Christian, and there was one guy who was the only bad guy in the whole town, and he was always going to jail.
Yeah.
It was a weird show. Like the one episode where the guy's going to get baptized and he buys a scuba diving mask and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay,
He
then.
brings a water slide.
So before we go, let's do our recommendations of the week. Karma, what is your recommendation of the week?
On Netflix, there's a really great show called Nailed It, and it's where people try to recreate amazing like dessert things, and they're all failing at it, and it's really funny.
Like MasterChef?
Yes, they're like
Okay.
basically trying to recreate grand cakes with just supplies they have there.
Sophia, what's your recommendation of the week? And don't eat salt, because that wasn't...
No, well, that is a good recommendation.
What are you going to say next? Don't eat sugar?
What's wrong with sugar, Corban?
Don't eat it alone. Wait, did I say this already? Watch the Beverly Hillbillies.
Nope, you haven't recommended that yet. What is that show? For people who don't know.
It's like basically me. It's like 4 different me's.
Sophia.
Okay,
In that
I'm gonna
show.
go
TV
home
show.
and watch
They're
it.
like they're like dumb, but they take everything literally, and it's really funny.
Okay.
Sounds just
Just
like
go
you.
look it up. It's really funny.
Okay. My recommendation is to watch Faithville.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. If this was your first time, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Links for all of our locations are available at rta.space/listen. If you have any suggestions for us, you want to send us some jokes, want us to talk about something, you can email us rocket2anywhereshow@gmail.com, or you can tweet at us at RTA Show on Twitter. You can also direct message us on Instagram at rocket2anywhere. Show notes for this week's episode are available at rta.space/55. And you can follow me on Twitter at Corban Garcia. Sophia, you're on Instagram at
Extra Sophia.
underscore
Sophia. Yeah.
extra
There we go.
underscore Sophia. And don't spell it with the PH like always.
Yes. That would be Sophia.
Karma, is there any way people can follow you on the internet?
Yeah, no.
Okay, we'll be back week after next with another special guest. But until then, something taught with pleasure is learned in full measure. This
rocket has
landed.